Good morning. Welcome to Projects in Dad's Garage, part 2 of the tap changer build. For some reason, my intro did not work. I have to look at that. It was working like 5 minutes ago when I set this up. But anyway, last time we made a little bit of progress. We got to this part. We got hot end and extruder mounted, and when we went to put in the fans into the cowling, that cracked. So reprinted that. Got a couple things in. Part fans for the second tool head. We got some bearings. We got some LEDs. I got this in from Ember Prototypes XY calibration camera to get the tool heads aligned to one another. I looked, there's some solutions in the tap changer repo, but I wasn't a huge fan of those. We've got a couple other things on the way. We've got another EBB 36. So we can do 3 tool heads because I'm told that we can mix and match. So we're going to do a dragon burner for our third tool head, using the hot end that's currently in there. The other 2 are going to be rapid burners using the Rapidos that Stephen was kind enough to donate to the project. I did another stream building this extruder, the Stargazer extruder, but the mounting pattern on this is just random. The guy that made it just did a custom mount, and as such has some issues. So one of the things we're going to do is Chirpy, on the same repo that has the rapid burner and dragon burner, has some files for an extruder that uses the Galileo 1 parts, and that has a mount. So we'll do that. Third one's going to have black face on it. Still got some gunk needs cleaned up, but I think we're going to start by taking this apart and building this other extruder. We'll get this cleaned up a little bit. Hit it with a little bit of heat, get rid of little fuzzies all over the place. All right. Well, let's take this apart. Almost looks like the orbiter on the rat rig. Yeah, it's based on the Galileo 1, which is like orbiter 1.5. So very similar. I mean, you kind of can only do so much with those given internals. Thanks for tuning in, Stephen. How's the 2.4 going? Man, you got me really wanting to get that green. That looks nice. I have no idea what I'd do with it. I really hate the blue and red on my ERCF. Maybe I'll just reprint that in that using that green. I am going to redo all the accent parts on the 2.4 in this blue. I need to print a little top hat thing. I'm going to do the same one that you did on your Trident. It's just like 30 millimeters tall. That's all I have room for this. But give me a little bit more clearance for umbilicals. This is a cool little extruder. It's a shame that he decided to use a random mounting pattern. If he'd used like the orbiter mounting pattern or something so that it was easily usable in other ecosystems, I think it would have been a much more viable option for stuff. I didn't realize until I was trying to find a mount for it that it has a odd mounting pattern. Oh, is it designed to have magnets, or is that something that you changed? All right. All right. Alrighty, there's that. Let's go ahead and drop bearing number 1 on the front. Interesting. Now this does not seem to work with this bearing. This extruder has caused me nothing but headaches. Every single one of them seems to want to use different bearings rather than just the bearings that it came with. Let me see if it says what bearings this needs on the GitHub. It does not. Fun times. Alright. So this is going back in the box, and we'll continue on this. Okay, so it does, the top hat is magnetic stock. Trident has CNC Chaotic Labs tap. You're gonna try printed one for 2.4. I ended up going to the Chaotic Labs one on my 2.4 after the third time of the attachments for the belts on the printed tap breaking. That always seems to be where it broke for me. Alright. Put all this stuff back in the box, and we'll have to figure out what bearings we need and go from there. But we'll go ahead and get back to work on this. So reprinted the cowling. Print came out a little bit better this time. I printed it on a different printer. I printed this on my V0. I don't know why this filament's giving me so much stringing. Doesn't seem to matter what I printed on. But let's get our fans. Let's rotate this. There's that. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that fit much better. Much better this time. Let's get this. Well, there went that. So I spent the last 48 hours in bed, sick, because kids decided to share their flu with me. So that's been fun. I did subscribe to Galactic Armory's Patreon. Going to print some armor, print something other than printer parts for once, I guess. So there's that. So slide these LEDs down in here. That's right. These things like to pop out of this little holder. So these NeoPixels drop into here, but they like to pop out. On the Trident, I tried to use some hot glue, and the hot glue came undone. It started melting out of it all over the build plate, so that was fun. If I had some RTV, I could use that to put those in there. Yeah, 24 hours before sending them home. Yeah. Cost me 2 days of PTO having to call out because I could not move. Should we just super glue these? I think we should just go ahead and super glue them. Yeah. So I think that's what we're doing. I'm just gonna drop some super glue. All around those edges. I need to get some of the spray that cures the CA glue, but some things I'm really cheap about. I don't know. Spending $8 on that just it gets me. I used to use a couple different versions as a goldsmith. One of them that actually made it like foam and create like a lattice structure. Almost looked like styrofoam after it was done. That would work really well to help fill gaps and stuff. What could go wrong? Well, we'll give that a second to sit there. And we'll start assembling the blue cowling. So I've been having an issue on my 2.4 with clipper screen. I had this issue. Yeah, activator. Yeah, it does make it kind of white. Had this issue with clipper screen about a year ago, where the screen lights up, shows up as the Pi starts booting, and then when it would normally go black for it to start the clipper screen service, it just stays black. Had this issue before. I got it fixed because I ended up setting it to force out a single resolution, but it's doing it again. I checked to make sure it was still forcing out a single resolution, and it is. So my thought, because there's a lot of stuff pulling off of this right up to 5-volt power supply in the bottom of the 2.4, and inject power for both the camera that I've had issues with off and on and the screen, and hope that fixes it. We shall see. I still have more parts I'm waiting on for this from AliExpress. The 3mm rods, and another CAN bus board. Been having issues with the switch wire. It likes to the build plate shift. The flex plate would shift. Got a bunch of binder clips on there. Still having issues with it, so I'm gonna throw magnetic sticker sheet on top of that Prusa bed and hope that prevents that from happening in the future. So I got a couple of those coming. I wouldn't, Stephen, I wouldn't say that the powered hub is 100% necessary unless you find yourself having problems. Um, but if you've already got a Pi in that, and you're going to get a different board, instead of getting the Manta and a CB1, at that point, you might as well just pick up the LDO Leviathan. So the Leviathan, that Pi will mount right on top of it, and that'll save you the same space. That's a really nice board. That's what I've got in the bottom of my Trident, is that Leviathan board. Alright, there's that built. Let's drop these LEDs in. This is like a puzzle getting these LEDs into this thing. Let's see. I'm going to say right about there. Yeah, the Leviathan's nice. So the Trident has the Leviathan. I've got 48 volts for those 5160s, and I've got the big stepper online stepper motors. They're the NEMA 17s, but instead of being the 48 millimeter bodies, they're the 60 millimeter bodies. So they give you the same torque curve as the LDO superpowers. But slightly less impulse current. So the artifacting that the superpowers have an issue with, I've not seen any issue with that on these. And I'm pushing that thing at like, I think my print profile was set for like 15K acceleration for infill and stuff, and I ran that thing up to 1200 millimeters a second, 30K excel, and didn't have any issues with it losing steps. It's something, and it's quiet. It's not quite as quiet as my 2.4 is, but it is extremely close. Alright, let's get NeoPixel. One NeoPixel. Well, I got this drawer out, I might as well put all these in there. There we go. 50 of those on AliExpress for like $3, I think it was. Hanging short of what? We're talking about the Trident. I don't know if I did a short on it, but I've got a couple videos I did when I first built it, running speed benchies on it just for fun. Now, I did put some heat sinks on those steppers because they were getting hot when I was pushing them that hard, as hard as I did running those speed benchies. All right. Yeah, the Trident videos like Will She Chooch or something like that. There's a couple different ones on there, a couple different attempts. It was when I first built it, so it wasn't completely tuned out or anything like that. It was just like, all right, we built this thing. Let's see if we can, full send. I really like this jig that they've got in the Dragon Burner repo for spacing the neopixels for this here. The ERCF GitHub has one as well for spacing out the neopixels on it, but it still works really nice even if you're just trying to hold one of these things to solder up. You always seem to need 3 hands to solder this stuff. Flux. Yeah. I need to get a new tube of paste flux. There's that. So I went through, and Stefan had a video on printing clear PETG a while ago, and went through and grabbed those settings and tried that out, and it worked pretty good. There's a little bit of black in this still. I purged out the hot end, but alas, it did not seem to matter. Pull out a little extra slack on this and cut those off. And we've got that together. Get these wires routed. Just push down in there where they're supposed to be. And slide this in. maybe could have used thinner wires on this, and it would have made my life a little easier. Just trying to get all these wires tucked up out of the way. Can be a bit of a pain. Spool holder for the solder. Yeah, that was one of the first things I ever 3D printed, actually. Alright, let's get some screws and attach this. Bad influence. Well, we try to be that for each other, right? Alright, so that is not right. Let the fuser pushed out on the front of that. All right. Alright, there's just a little piece of plastic on the front of that. It was getting stuck in there. Now, let's grab CAN bus board. This is Sly SHT 36 board. And we're going to drop one here. We need some heat sets in this thing. Let's plug in the heat set iron. I think my trash cans are rolling around outside. All right. Get some heat sets in here. One. Two. Now, let's get this board attached. That's just not long enough. Let's get some 8mm ones. There we go, that's long enough. Did I make these wires too short? I think I need to bring these wires across the other side. I think they'll be long enough then. Yeah, I tend to, when I'm disassembling stuff, throw all of my screws I'm taking out into a magnetic parts tray, and then try to reuse those as I rebuild things. And if it doesn't work out and I have more left over when I'm done, then I go through and sort them back into their corresponding drawers. But I try to minimize that, if at all possible, by reusing as much as I can. Alright, they're going to be long enough now, but they'll be long enough. I also need 2 heat sinks down the bottom here. Heat sets to attach this back part on. I might need some on the front of this too. Or do the screws come through the front? No, screws come through the front. But I can't really put this on just yet. So I need to be able to put those rods in. So I can't put this together quite yet. Well, that's infinitely frustrating. Can put these heat sets in though. Yeah, there's a lot of crap in these things. Wire management can be fun. These are not quite as straightforward to assemble as the stealth burners are either. I do really like these tool heads though. One. And these need a 3mm aluminum rod on either side, and they're not in yet. Just go ahead and throw the two in the bottom of this one. So we'll put this off to the side. And we'll start working on this next tool head. Collie, I'm using the one that was on the back of that tool head is the Mellow Fly SHT 36V2. Then on all the other ones, it's going to be the Big Tree Tech EBB 36. We may end up, I'm still not 100% sure that this board is good. I tried using it on the Trident and I had issues with it. We're going to give it another try because I think it was my USB to CAN bus adapter that was the issue, but we're going to find out. I need to find Raspberry Pi projects. If any of y'all have any project ideas, I've got a bunch of Pis. Oh, it says that I lost you guys there for a second. Not sure what happened. Grab 3 more of these. Again, this little jig is fantastic. Let's move some of this stuff out of my way. I should really check on those trash cans. Give me 1 second here. I don't have a cool video to show you guys while I do this, but just give me a second. Alright, I'm back. That was definitely my trash cans rolling down the road. All 4 of them. Trash cans aren't cheap. Alright. Let's unplug the heat press iron. Get this all tinned up. Oh, something cool that I found and printed the other week is this thing here. It holds your PCBs, your soldering and assembling PCBs, just trying to put together the PCBs for the G-code buttons. Can be a pain in the butt. That was really really handy. Well, it would have been really handy had I had it. Alright, let's see here. Cut off all these wires. Alright, there's our connectors for between the two. Little pieces of PTFE wire, slippery to hold on to. All right. Five-volt wire. Maybe a little more solder on there. There we go. And the signal wire. Sorry, that was my son messaging me. So, last wire here. Morning, Caden. Alright, so now we'll get our wires to come up and around. Soldering all this stuff is one of the least exciting parts of a build, and a part that I know a lot of people have issues with. But taking the time to learn how to solder can be invaluable. Everything from fixing your kids' toys to building printers, car stuff. Nowadays, everything has electronics in it. Steven, she's doing all right now. We've got some tests and some procedures coming up. Got some concerning results back for some stuff and got more tests as a result of it. But play it day by day. Thanks for asking. Alright. We'll go ahead and glue these in like we did on the last one. A couple drops of super glue. A little bit of UV light to speed up the curing. Caden, at this rate, you'll be here to help me get this project buttoned up. Caden in chat there's my son. He's going to be coming and visiting for a week for spring break. It's been on a couple of the videos, but I'll put him to work a little bit building this. All right. Let's drop this on in here. Well, okay, the tap changer, what it is it gets up to 6 tool heads mounted across the front, and then it can go and pick up different ones. Let me see if I can find a video. All right. Let's see if I can. No, that's not it. All right, let's do this. Yeah. All right, here we go. So this is tap changer. You can have up to 6 tool heads across the front. So yeah. And then it'll just switch between them like the enraged carrot feeder does for switching between filaments. To switch between filaments, it just swaps tool heads. You get a lot less purge. You can do different types of material. So PLA and pt.2, for example, don't stick to one another very much. So you can use pt.2 for in one tool head to print your supports, and then print your model in your PLA, and then when it's done, it just falls apart because they don't stick to one another. Same thing with ABS. You can use hips as a support material because they won't bond together. All right. Yeah, it is pretty cool. I've been thinking, because I've got a lot of stuff that I'd need to build a second enraged rabbit carrot feeder. I was thinking that if I could figure out a way to make the macros work and the G code and work with the slicer to take one of the tool heads and attach a 4-cart enraged rabbit carrot feeder to one of the tool heads, so that one can switch between 4 different colors, and then have the other 2 tool heads. So if you're doing a model that's mainly one color, but then it's got a bunch of little bits and pieces of some other colors, you can do the little bits and pieces in the enraged rabbit carrot feeder, your main color in your one tool head, and then you got another one that you can throw your support material into and be able to very quickly do it. I don't know if I can make it work though. I don't see any reason why you couldn't with enough coding knowledge. Yeah, these aren't water soluble supports. They just materials that don't bond together. So you can have your support material not stick to each other and just pull right apart. Alright, let's get this last one soldered in line. Then we will be done with the soldering for today. Alright, there's that. Zachary, no. It didn't start early. I posted, it said 15 minutes, and that was at 7:30. We started at 7:45. But thanks for joining. Glad to have you here. Oh, yeah. I'm a bit of a morning person. Even being living that third shift life, I'm normally up and going early in the morning. And as a bonus, by starting early in the morning, I'm not interfering with anybody else's streaming times. Everybody else starts in the afternoon or early morning for their streams. So I don't really have to worry about stepping on anybody. I think Digital Dragon also does some morning stuff. Last week he started at 10 a.m. So this way I don't have to worry about stepping on anybody else's stream times. All right. That's that all soldered up. Or not. The signal wire wasn't quite attached, I guess. Alright, is now. Oh, I know, Caden. Hey, it wasn't that long ago that you were normally up when I woke up anyway. I don't know how in the course of like a year you went from being a morning person to not a morning person. Alright. Let's get the carrier for this. Man, I really did a crappy job on these signal wire solders. That one just popped off too. Yeah. Your sister's the same way now. It's got to be a teenage thing. Wanting to sleep all day. Well, I've made a royal mess of this. Clean off. When I went to add solder to that, I got a blob across the 5-volt and signal wire on the incoming side. Yeah, I have a hard time sleeping too, especially since going to third shift, which was a year and a half ago. I still can't seem to get any sort of schedule. Alright. LED in the carrier. Let's not make the same mistake we did last time. Let's clean this up. I really hate pt.2. Really hate it. I saw some clear ABS on Amazon that I've been meaning to order to see how that works for diffusers. This is the only thing I print in pt.2 is these clear diffusers, or I could just get some clear resin and resin print them, which would probably be the smarter way to do it. Huh. That worked really well. I wonder if I put the one on the other side in backwards. I bet you I did. I did. There. Lovely. Now, that lays much better. Yeah, it does get everywhere. Yeah, Zachary, third shifts, the shift differential works out to be like 20 bucks a week. Take taxes out of that, it ain't worth it. I'm trying to get back on first shift. I was on first shift for a long time, went to third to take a higher paying position, and now just have to work my way back. The frustrating thing is if we did shift adjustments based on seniority, I have more seniority than everybody in the department in my position. But they don't. They do it on a first request basis. I'm next in line, but you gotta deal with that. Resin printer, nightmare stuff gets everywhere. I haven't resin printed a whole lot of stuff. I've gone through a little over a bottle. I resin printed a Harley Quinn statue that's going to go to my brother. I've got to paint it. I painted the base. I haven't painted the model. And then I started resin printing a Sith Yoda statue. But never finished it. I don't know. I mean, it's cool, but most of the stuff that I print isn't that kind of thing, so it doesn't get a whole lot of use. But it was given to me, and I'm grateful for it. Definitely, when I need it, it's good to have. Zyrus Vag, hello, welcome. All right, let's work on building this. So this tool head is going to get the LGX light that's currently in there. So the extruder won't go on this. Yeah, I'd really like to grab some Galileo 2s for this, but make do with what we have. Get our Rapido out. The ultra high flow adapter. Get our 0.4 nozzle out of here. We'll do a hot tighten on that once we get everything together, but for now, put that on there. Get this V6 style top off of here. All right, there's that. Get in our goodie bag. Throw extra goodies back in the goodie bag so we don't lose them. Just booted up your 3D printer. Did you see the armor stuff that it's going to start working on, Caden? What are you going to 3D print? Have you even done anything on it since we got your clipper all set up? Yeah, bring democracy to the universe. Bodie's awesome. I love Bodie. All right. Now, need a couple heat sets in the top of this. about as far as we can go on that. Let's get this set over here. Take a look at this part. This needs a bunch of heat sets. This is the carriage. That grabs the tools. Oh, you have some clear ABS, do you? Hope it's not wet. Yeah. All right, now let's go take a look at all right. What size bearings do I need? 3 by 8 by 3. I think these are the right ones. Yep, these are the ones. Come back here. So once we get this together, we can see if this actually grabs onto those tool heads. Alright, two more. So this is the part that'll go onto the X gantry, like such, and then it'll come and the back of your tool head come and grab onto it like such. There's so it comes in, lifts up your tool head, and away you go. There's two 3mm rods that go down the side to help lock that in, and then some screws go down here at the bottom for fine tuning and adjusting. And then your tap sensor goes right in here, and this will actuate your tap sensor. It's pretty slick. But that's really all I have to be able to put together right now. What size are these screws? 8s. So once I get a couple more parts in and we can go a few steps further, that's what we'll do. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've made it this far, make sure hit the subscribe button. Helps out. Hit the like button. I always appreciate it. Have a good day.